All right, chat. Sound off. What'd you think of the show tonight? I personally thought this was a really good show. Back to back, really good episodes. I thought the main event was fantastic. Um, I think we're at the point now where you gotta stop sleeping on AJ Francis. I think you gotta stop sleeping on the guy. Now he has that bad reputation because he botched the one move, and he didn't do a whole lot when he was on the main roster. But I don't think that I have seen a guy, especially at his age, like he's not like a young guy. He's like in his mid-30s, right? He's improved so much in 2 years since he's been with TNA. It's incredible. And it's almost like WWE should probably want him back for sure. I think they should bring him, like take him back. But maybe they already hired him twice and it didn't work out twice. So maybe they're not going to do it a third time. But he is much better now than now in TNA than he was 2 years ago when he arrived. The guy's gotten so much better. And look at who he's working with. I mean, like Rich Swann is fantastic. He's Ricky Morton. I like to compare him to Ricky Morton, especially when he was the world champion. The guy's selling is unbelievable. He'll make your ass cry with his selling. He's like Ricky Morton, like Tommy Dreamer's really good at that. Hulk Hogan was really good at that. Like that's Rich Swann. Like go watch old Rock and Roll Express matches from the 80s and the early 90s, and then watch what happens to every fucking match. Ricky, they double team Ricky, they beat down Ricky, the heels. Midnight Express will kick his ass, and he's just selling. He's just looking at the crowd, and he's just got the pain in his eyes. He's like, "Help me, help me." And then they make the hot tag to Robert. And then Robert comes in a house of fire, and then next thing you know, they're bringing Ricky back in, and they hit that double drop kick, and they get the victory. That's Rich Swann right now. He's that good, and he's been that good for a long time. And he had some issues, and looks like he's cleaning those up. The guy's in great shape. He's in really good shape, and I'm happy for the guy. And God bless him that he has gotten. You never really get control on your own. He's got a good community around him, and hopefully he has a higher power of his understanding to help him walk through this journey that he's walking through. I know that journey very well, and I hope the best for him. But Lucky Charm says AJ Francis with another quality match. Like I said, got to stop sleeping on AJ. Got to stop sleeping on AJ Francis for sure. Steve Maclin probably going to AEW ROH. Yeah, I could see it. I could absolutely see it. All right, Alter the Squirrel. Currently coping and hoping Kazarian went to Daria Ray about getting Maclin his job back. Why the fuck would he do that? like in storyline, like why does Kazarian give a fuck about Steve? Like they had a couple matches last year, but that was about it. I think Kazarian's probably there to get his title back for sure. Let's see. Matt Lopez said, solid show, but it boggles my mind when TNA needs names for the main event scene. Then they don't see value in Maclin. Yeah, like the guy, Macklin's been in several main events for the company, and main eventers don't grow on trees. They don't have a lot of main eventers. They don't have a lot of great workers. They have like good, and they have guys that are better than I think they get credit for, specifically AJ Francis. And I think Elijah showed a lot tonight. Now he's working with Jason Hodge, who's great. But they just lost, three of the Rascals. But if you think about it, just really they lost one Rascal. Wentz was really the only guy under contract that they lost. Myron Reed was on a per date deal, and Desmond Xavier showed up in November, right? So they lost one, but the other guys were there too for a bit. And they lost Jake. It was time for him to go, I think. If Jake would have asked me for my advice, and he never would, why would he? Like, who am I? But if he did, I would be like, brother, I think you need to go. I think you need to go get a fresh paint of coat, get a new last name, go kick some ass, and then if your desire is to be in TNA, once you go on to the big show and then you come back, you'll make more money. Like that's my advice to everybody. So, and it was Jake's time. All right, Lucky Charm. I don't completely buy the Maclin is gone. Yeah, for sure. Canelo Lake says, hello, Corporate Mike. We'll be seeing Maclin at AEW Collision on future Saturdays. Also, TNA production remains dog poop. The audio was god-awful. So the audio in the arena is good. The announcers sounded good, but backstage is still crap. Do they not have backstage microphones? Do they have somebody like producing this goddamn show? Like what? I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Wrestling covers. Please tell me there's a chance this is storyline and Maclin doesn't leave. I think there is a chance. I think there is a chance for sure. We might in like a week or two come back on this podcast and you guys can roast me for me burying TNA for letting Maclin go. And that's fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind being wrong. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, I was wrong and I don't want to admit it. No, when I'm wrong, I promptly admit it. It's part of my lifestyle, but it's also part of being married for 10 years and being a father because I'm wrong all the goddamn time. And my wife and kids let me know every chance they get for sure. Really good episode. Another banger, but how is that MLW and the fucking Juggalo show has a bigger and better roster than TNA? That I don't know about the Juggalo. I know the Juggalos they brought in James Storm and who was the other Mr. Anderson? They brought them in. But the MLW show, I was seeing you guys know Corey Hayes from Body Slam. He was there. I think it was in Tampa. And that show looked like it was big. I saw that Adam Brooks was there from Australia. And he was the guy I was high on whenever TNA went to Australia a couple years. I was like, why is this guy like he looks like kind of like Davey Richards? I was like, why is this guy not in TNA? Like, why wouldn't they just like bring him? I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like the guy that looks like that, who's pretty good. Why not just have him on your roster? And I thought they went there for like a couple of shows and he was on both and he looked really good. But he was at MLW tonight. So hopefully he got his visa and he's able to come into the States more often and maybe TNA can get some dates on him and check him out. But they also Kushida turned heel, which I didn't know he was in MLW. I knew he like worked dates there, but I didn't know that he was like there. But for him to turn heel, I'm kind of interested in what that looks like because Kushida, and I love Kushida, not a lot of personality, but maybe he was never given the opportunity. I'm curious to see how that works because he joined Contra. They turned on Mads Krugger and they laid him out. And it looks like, and they stretchered him out. So he might be gone. And if he's gone, I think that's a guy that TNA should bring in. I would love to see Krule. Like, get rid of the Mads Krugger name. That's a dumb name. Krule. That's a cool name. Krule. He looks like Abyss and Kane had a baby, which is like perfect for TNA. And I was just watching Rosemary from 10 years ago. She was so fucking good as like the valet for Crazy Steve and Abyss. How cool would it be if they brought in Krule and then like you repackage Rosemary and she's like this crazy bitch that's fucking, comes to the ring with Krule and just wreaks havoc. That would be so cool. I would love that. Krule versus Mance Warner in a feud. That'd be cool. Let's do it. Again, I'm just speculating. I don't know that he's gone from that company, but if he is, like TNA should absolutely bring the guy in. Like, he's not the greatest worker in the world, but right now we're just signing TV stars anyway, and he looks cool on television. Like he's just a really big dude. He kind of looks like body wise like Doc Gallows. And I think they're like the same size. He wears this cool mask and he bleeds a lot. Like those guys are important. Can we bring some? Freaking? Can we bring some monsters back to television? That'd be cool. All right. Let's see. A couple more, and then we're going to get to some more news, and then I'm going to do a quick recap of the show, and then we're going to call it a day. I liked Punisher Steve Maclin, but I think he was Scott and Don guy. So the writing was always on the wall for him, like Josh Alexander, Ace Austin. Yeah, and he is like real tight with Scott D'Amore. Although, like, if I was in the room when Scott D'Amore said, "Hey, we're gonna give you the title, but you have to lose it on your second title defense to Alex Shelley," I would have like punched him in his fucking head because I was like, "Wait a minute, we just built this guy. Like now he's the guy. Alex Shelley's a great wrestler and a legend, but he didn't need that world title run. And Steve should have been in that spot the entire time, and he should have flipped it back to Josh when Josh got healthy. And I will die on that hill forever. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about Alex Shelley. Alex rules, right? He's a great wrestler, but he was already part of a really successful act in the Motor City Machine Guns. They had their own thing going on, and they should have stuck with it. I did not like that they took the belt off Steve so quickly, and I will continue to say that forever. Let's see. MLW has 2 wrestlers signed to that company. The rest are mostly CML. It has CMLL and New Japan, and everybody else is kind of like on handshake agreements. But that's fine because MLW runs like 1 show a month, so they don't need to. They don't need to get people under like these long-term deals. All right. Sorry, I had to get to the here towards the end. So I'm sorry that if I skip some of your stuff. Neither of them have an actual roster. So we're talking about JCW. Anyone at MLW shows can leave the moment they're offered a contract anywhere else. Yeah, for sure. And then so I'm shocked that Austin Aries is still getting bookings. I watched Austin Aries recently in MLW in Charleston. Like I wasn't there, but I watched it on TV, and he was pretty good. So bring in Zilla Fatu. You know, Zilla Fatu was at the Dallas tapings. I don't know why they haven't used him though. He signed a 4th rope, which I don't know. Well, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like he signed a 4th rope. They do a show like once every 6 months, and TNA produces it for them. But he signed. So like I'm sure TNA could use him whenever they wanted. They just haven't used him. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that guy. Speaking of monsters, I would love to see Nikki Blackheart in TNA. Yeah, she's a beast of a lady. She's pretty new. So maybe they're just waiting for her to get good. But I've always said that TNA should be early on people like that instead of late. Because if they're too late, then AW or WWE ID or NXT or something, they're going to gobble people like that up. So if you got someone with a good look, you need to be a little bit early on them. Zilla Fatu and EJ and Duca were at TNA AMC debut. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.